Hello, happy to see you again. My name is Kay. This is the second time I give English lesson. Today we are going to talk about dummy subject it. As you can see, there are 5 cases of English sentence structure. So look at this carefully. This English sentence can be made up of subject and the verb, and the subject and the verb and the complement. And English sentence consists of subject, verb, object, and subject, verb, indirect object or direct object. So English sentence can be made up of subject, verb, IO and TO. TO is one of the members of the Korean idol group EXO. He's really awesome. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. The sentence can be composed of subject, verb, object, complement. So there are so many things I want to talk about related to these 5 cases of English sentence structure, but I need to focus on dummy subject it because dummy subject it is the just a grammatical key point for today's class. So I should concentrate on dummy subject it. So what part of speech do you think you can put in the place of the subject? And noun can be the subject, and pronoun can be subject as well, and verb ing, gerund can be subject as well, to verb infinitive can be subject, and conjunction that plus complete sentence and whether plus complete sentence and relative pronoun what plus incomplete sentence. You have to get rid of either subject or object. You have to remove one of them. And lastly, this WH question plus complete sentence, incomplete sentence. Anything is okay. It doesn't matter whether you use complete sentence and incomplete sentence. So those 8 things can be subject. So do you remember what we are talking about in previous lesson? We are talking about subject and the verb agreement. So look at this. Noun has plural and singular. Pronoun has singular, plural. But what about these things? They are singular, plural. So they should be considered just a singular. So let me exemplify the 2 sentences. Playing computer game is fun. And second is to study English is hard. So as you can see, just playing computer game and to study English. And gerund and infinitive can be subject. And as you can see, we should consider these things singular. So that is why I wrote is. So what do they have in common? What do they have in common? They have one thing in common. The thing is, the subject is long. The subject is long. Then when subject is long, you can replace the real subject with the dummy subject it, sending the real subject to the end of the sentence. So let me do it again. So when the subject is long, you can make use of dummy subject it, and you should send real subject to the end of the sentence. So it is fun and playing computer game. Like this. The same is true for the next sentence. So when the subject is long, then you can replace it, dummy subject it, sending the real subject to the end of the sentence. So you can replace the real subject it with it, dummy subject it, and it is hard, and the real subject should be sent toward the end of the sentence. It is hard to study English, like this. But it doesn't matter whether you use dummy subject it or not when subject is long. So this sentence is correct, and it is fun to play computer game this sentence is correct as well. So to study English is hard is correct sentence. It is hard to study English is also correct sentence. So they are all correct sentences. But it is not the case for this pattern. So this pattern has different story. So let me explain that. When we have subject and verb and object and complement. In this kind of sentence, in this kind of pattern of the sentence, we have to focus on the relation between object and the complement. You have to focus on the relation between object and the complement. So I'll give you two sentences. She made him happy. And people call me Tom. As I said earlier, you have to focus on the relation between object and the complement. Look at this. She made him happy, which means he is happy. People call me Tom, which means I am Tom. As you can see, the relation between object and the complement is like the relation between subject and the verb. So the relation between object and the complement is like the relation between subject and the verb. She made him happy. He is happy. People call me Tom. I am Tom, like this. So that is why when this object is long, you can use dummy subject it. So you can use dummy subject it when object is long. Do you know what I mean? Are you following me? Then let's find out what part of speech we can put in the place of the object. Just the case of the subject, we can pronoun, noun, gerund, infinitive, conjunction that, whether, just relative pronoun what, and just WH question. We can put all these things in the place of an object. But there are some cases, among these things, there are some cases you have to and you must use a dummy subject it in the place of an object. So let me explain this. So this is really important. So this is the most important thing for today's class. So listen carefully and you have to memorize this sentence, this pattern. When we have infinitive and conjunction that as object, and we have make, believe, consider, think, find as a verb. In this kind of pattern of the sentence, you have to use dummy subject it. Unless you use dummy subject it, then it is wrong sentence. It is incorrect sentence. So let me give you some examples. I thought to tell the truth better. I make that I object to the proposal clear. So as you can see, we have I subject and we have a thought verb and to tell the truth is object and the better is complement. As you can see, when we have this pattern of the sentence, we must dummy subject it. So we have to replace this real subject with dummy subject it, and then we have to just send just a real subject toward the end of the sentence. So just I thought it better to tell the truth. So this sentence is incorrect sentence. This sentence is correct sentence. Do you know what I mean? Good. Okay, let me do it another example. I make that I object to the proposal clear. I is a subject, make is a verb, that I object to the proposal is the object, and clear is complement, subject, verb, object, complement. As I said earlier, when we have object, when you have just conjunction that as object, then we have to replace it with dummy subject it. We have to replace it dummy subject it. And we have to send real subject to the end of the sentence. So let me write it again. So I make it clear that I object to the proposal. So I make that I object to the proposal clear. This sentence is an incorrect sentence. This sentence is wrong. I make it clear that I object to the proposal. This sentence is correct sentence. Do you know what I mean? So that is why you have to memorize this pattern. Okay? Okay. So take care of yourself. Until next time. So this is all I got for today's class. So bye-bye.